I look decent enough? Okay. Hello, my name is Valentina and I run this photography and film studio. Okay, I'm going to give you the condensed version of the about me that you usually find, and hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining than just reading paragraphs. I had a really big influence in my life, photography wise, and that's my mom. She was that one person that, like you have that auntie or that uncle in your family that you always call when you want something photographed, like when you're having a birthday party, or that person that brings the camera for the holidays, and that probably they don't know the full extent of, they are not professionals per se, but they are the ones just documenting everything. So that was my mom. And it was all in a very informal way, but I guess like that seed was planted. The first conscious effort that I made into, I guess, working in photography, or my first attempts, was buying a camera in 2006, and it was this tiny, I think that I have it somewhere, it was this tiny Sony Cybershot, and it was just a point and shoot. It was nothing fancy, it was not a DSLR, you couldn't change lenses, it was literally a tiny little square. And I started creating with that. So I will turn my mom's bedroom into a studio when she will leave home to work, and I will photograph my friends, my cousins, and my family, and anyone basically who will be brave enough to just sit in front of my camera. And I used to do a lot of portraits, and I used to explore that. Like, it was a very creative time, it was really fun, but obviously it was all limited by what my tiny camera could do. So I moved to Australia 10 years ago. And I moved first to Melbourne. I went to uni in Melbourne. I did a diploma in photography with RMIT, and then I went on photographing these really cool assignments internationally. So that's how I started first in photography. So it was all documentary, which you see a lot of that in my work. It's all very documentary oriented, and it's just, I guess, just seeing what's happening and just waiting for it and learning how to read the environment somehow, or to feel it. And yes, I started doing documentary, and long story short, one of my friend's brothers, he was getting married. They asked me to photograph their wedding, and I think I got paid like $300. I would have done it for free, but to me I was like, oh my god, somebody's paid me to shoot this. And it was the most beautiful experience ever. I had so much fun. They were my friends, so it felt very familiar, but I did, like, something clicked, and it was a mix of being able to tell a story from a semi-insider's perspective, and being there with the family and just spending the whole day, and yes, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So after I finished my degree in Melbourne, I moved to Adelaide, and I moved here to study for 2 years. Then I met my husband, and the rest is history. Here I am 7 years later. But yeah, so I moved here and I did a master in business, and I started photographing a lot of architecture. So that's why I think you can see a lot of my wedding photos, especially when we have like cityscapes or what are the venues. They have a big architectural structure. So you're rarely going to see crooked lines and diagonals, because it does my head in, and I just want to get everything obviously not contrived, but it's part of the harmony that I work with. So you can see all of that in my background, in the architectural background. Okay, I think that I've talked enough about me. I'll just tell you a bit about what we do. So this is a photography and film studio, which means that we do still photographs and we also shoot video. So our approach really to your day is just being part of what's already happening. We don't like to overimpose, and we don't like to take you away from the moment, and we don't like to direct your every move, every hair, every the whole thing, like hands under your chin looking into the distance. Rest assured that we're going to respect the moment, but we're also going to guide you through the different parts of the day when you need it. So a lot of our work really is reading how you and your loved ones are feeling. So if we see that perhaps something that you're doing looks quite beautiful, we will ask you like, oh, just stop that for a second. But we're never going to go and get in between and say like, oh, I just need to take you to. I get very dramatic with this, but I really hate that. I'm not gonna go and take you away from what you're doing, or spending a moment with your partner or a friend, or drag you because that's something that I really want to do. We're about documenting the beauty of your day as it is, as it's happening. I know that we are technically your photographers and your videographers, but our work doesn't stop there. So if there's anything you ever need during your planning process, we know that it can get stressful sometimes. So just reach out if you need a hand with recommendations, or if you're stuck on something, or if you need any ideas, we're always here. And on your wedding day, same story. We are your support team, and we are here exactly for that. So thank you so much for watching this. If you have anything else you would like to discuss, just pop us an email and we'll get back to you within the next 48 hours. And yes, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.